What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Now, after the off-season that was 2020 from the MCU, 2021 has started off with an absolute bang, and it's not just because of the number of releases on the Marvel Phase 4 schedule over the next 24 months, but mostly the buzz due to WandaVision. And now, in their most recent interview, lead actress Elizabeth Olsen and head writer and creator on the show, Jack Schaefer, shared an upcoming cameo that, quote, lives up to a Luke Skywalker moment. We're going to break down exactly what they said in that interview about what we can expect from the upcoming series, and then speculate a little bit as to which Marvel character fits the bill for this, and there's only a couple as they relate to WandaVision and the stories that they're using from the comics. We're going to break it all down, including what they said in this interview and who we think this major cameo is. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're still giving away a PlayStation 5 at 800,000 subscribers, as well as a ton of new Disney Plus subscriptions. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So this interview was posted yesterday in an article from tvline.com under the headline, "Will WandaVision have its own Luke Skywalker moment?" Elizabeth Olsen, quote, really excited for the surprise to come. Now, some quick contextualization in case you didn't watch The Mandalorian, and an enormous spoiler warning for not only that show, but this show to come, in case we speculate right as to who this major cameo is. If you didn't watch The Mandalorian, in the very last episode of the second season, which we just saw, and when all hope looks lost, Luke Skywalker swings in on his X-Wing and his famous green lightsaber and saves the day in a moment that caused every Star Wars fan everywhere, including myself, to go absolutely nuts when it happened. Now, this kind of moment in a Disney Plus show was not something that we had expected, and Mark Hamill himself even weighed in that he was surprised and elated they were able to keep it under wraps for this long. Now, let's get back to this article and interview that prompted a question: will we have a Luke Skywalker moment? They go on to report, quote, "But Olsen hints to TV Line another MCU vet could be making a visit to Westview, one that fans have not already heard about, as was the case with Park and Dennings. Back in December, fellow Disney Plus series The Mandalorian stunned viewers with Mark Hamill's appearance as Luke Skywalker, which had shockingly remained a secret until Season 2's finale aired. When asked if WandaVision has anything similar in store, namely a casting that she can't believe or hasn't leaked yet, Olsen gave us a quick yes. And although she dared not offer any other specifics, she did share with a laugh that I'm really excited for viewers to see who or what is coming." WandaVision creator Jack Schaefer was similarly tight-lipped about who might pop up on the show, but she did confirm for TV Line, quote, "There are so many surprises left in store for the 5 remaining episodes. I encourage all fans to settle in because there's more coming," Schaefer added. Now, we have to get to who this character could be, and there are a lot of obvious choices. If you're thinking it's Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, or maybe even the villain Mephisto, those have all been talked about at length before. They don't really fit the bill of a Luke Skywalker type of shock, and there are only so many major characters in Marvel Universe, again, that's comic books, not the MCU canon, that could show up at this point and inspire that kind of awe in comic book fans. First of which, again, major spoiler warning, is none other than Scarlet Witch's and Pietro's father, Magneto. Now, let's back up a second. Magneto has always been their father in the comic books, and I will say that unless Marvel Studios plans on diverging from that in a major way, it would only make sense that Magneto is her father on the show. We don't yet have Magneto in the MCU, and as far as we know, for Wanda Maximoff and Pietro's backstory, they were orphaned when they were 10 after a Stark shell exploded, presumably killing their family, but we don't hear that line specifically. Now, we've covered here at the channel enormous Easter eggs, like Magneto's powers may have been the reason that the second shell never went off, or whatever was latent within Magneto, if he had gone through concentration camps in the past, which he's in the right region, and this is all again coming from comic book canon, that whatever was latent, the X gene in him, may have been what was unlocked by Wanda in the first place when the experiments with the Mind Stone happened under Strucker's supervision. Now, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves too far here, because Marvel's pacing has always been one of the hallmarks of the franchise, that and the realism they're able to ground these characters in. They don't really have the time and the breadth to explain who Magneto would be in full, but there wouldn't be a single Marvel fan who wouldn't know who this is when he shows up in the final scene. Given his familial ties to Wanda and the story itself, House of M, some of the other things that are left to come in the MCU, like the future of the X-Men, I think it makes perfect sense for this character Magneto to show up at the end of the show. You wouldn't need a lot of contextualization or backstory explained. We all already know, and you can get to that in the future of the MCU. That's who I'm putting my money on. Now, conversely, there are two sides to the Magneto coin, as every comic book fan will know. On the other side of that coin, Professor Xavier, and I think there is an equal chance for this character to show up to try to help Wanda or save her from whatever the predicament is when he finally shows up. However, that feels like a little bit of a stretch because there's one extra jump that needs to happen there. Xavier would not be familially tied to Wanda, and really this whole sort of pseudo-existence that she's created, this facade of reality, has really tied to the things that are closest to her, manifestations of the things she loves. That's why to me Magneto makes a lot more sense, an image of her father or her father in the flesh, instead of perhaps Professor Xavier, although we do know in the past when mutants have needed help. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say the M word. I'm sure we're gonna get a huge explanation for that very soon, but when characters of power have needed help, Professor Xavier has always been there. So it'll be interesting to see if that's the character that shows up, but still my money on Magneto. Now, one outside and huge cameo that could happen, but outside chance for this again, is Dr. Doom. We've also covered in full in videos, I'll make sure to link at the end of this, how Sokovia could easily double for a Doomstadt and eventually a Latveria. It's in the exact same region, and given the history we already know about what's happened in that town and city, it could be the perfect place for someone like Victor Von Doom to raise up with what looks like magic based on his technology and take the whole town over, explaining that not only can he protect them, but lead them into a new and modern era. I've also talked about the fact that as soon as the snap and the blip would happen, if someone like him was rising to power, they may even attribute everybody coming back to him and forever making him the savior of that town. Regardless, Dr. Doom has a ton of future in the MCU, going against teams like the Fantastic Four, and it's not exactly clear how he would work into this current storyline, and I do feel like it would be a bit jarring and unexplained if all of a sudden Dr. Doom showed up. However, he is a major character that would inspire the level of awe and shock that we got from Luke Skywalker. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of you who will say, well, Luke Skywalker's cameo was really a major character returning and making everybody's jaw drop. Wouldn't that be more in line with a Steve Rogers Captain America, or say even a Robert Downey Jr. Tony Stark returning? And yeah, as a true analog, a one-to-one, those would be a lot more similar. But we haven't had as much time between young Luke Hamill, Luke Skywalker, from the end of the original trilogy that led into The Mandalorian, as we have had from the end of the Infinity Saga, and I don't see either of them coming back for this kind of cameo. To inspire that kind of awe in Marvel and comics fans, this is going to have to be a character, and I know I mentioned two villains, and I'm thinking a villain indeed. This is going to have to be a character that inspires awe from the comics, that lets the Marvel fans know that this is so much bigger than just what we've already seen in this show, that I'm really going to put my money on Magneto here. And although I may be wrong and it could be somebody completely different, there are thousands of characters in the Marvel universe, this still feels like the right one. So many Easter eggs, so many ties to Wanda herself, especially with what's going on in this show and her chaos magic and the Mind Stone. I wouldn't be surprised. My bet is definitely on Magneto. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below, and if there's a different character that you think could possibly be it, I am all ears. I want to hear what you guys think and who your bet for this major Luke Skywalker type cameo is at the end of the season. I'm all ears, and quickly let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away a PlayStation 5 at 800,000 subscribers, which we are halfway to and could easily hit by next month. We're continuing to give away Disney Plus subscriptions as long as the shows are live, and we'll announce some brand new prizes after Wandavision concludes. If you want to be entered to win and for any of the future prizes, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be selected and announced at the end of videos just like this. The best way to keep up with the content here at the channel is to hit the notification bell with notifications turned on, and of course, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me over on Instagram and Twitter under I Am Fires. You can find me with original music over on Spotify under All Fires, and even streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/Novellin. There are links in the description to all four. My name's Michael Roman. Thanks again for checking out the channel, guys, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.